process video for my 2014 project life that I am trying to catch up on. So this one is my son's first year album and I am up to week 13, although having said that, I am not working chronologically, so I do have some more recent layouts completed, but this one I sort of went through a bit of a break from project life for a while when my son was about 3-4 months old. I don't know, everything, I was so tired and I think I just overcommitted myself, so that's why I'm working on week 13 and it's now my son's 13 months old, but that's alright because it's getting done. And that is why this year I have implemented a better planning system for my project life, so even if I do get a little bit behind, I can still work on it and not have to use the pictures to recall what happened in that week, because that is really difficult, especially when it comes to doing a baby album where you're sort of like recording like milestones and things that happened. It's really hard to remember because so many things happen and everything happens so quickly as well. Like one minute they're crawling, next minute they're walking, you know, it's just everything happens really fast. So I'm having to use the pictures a lot to remember what happened. Anyway, at the moment I'm working my title card on the top right page, and I've used one of the DIY shop chalkboard labels to sort of mount my title on. However, I had a lot of trouble with this card. I used a card from an older kit which was white with lots of black love hearts in the background, and I probably should have just gone with a plain card or something because I think that's what I found really distracting. So I got my title down, which looks really hard to see in the video, but you can see it in real life. It's just that it's a dark blue alpha on black, so it's hard to pick up. So I end up leaving the title card quite a few times and just coming back to it, which is what I do when I find something is bugging me, because it's just easier to walk away, leave it for a little bit and then come back when you can look at it in fresh light. So I'm just adding little bits and pieces. Now this layout wasn't made using a kit or anything, it was just little bits and pieces from my stash. However, I did use quite a few things that were from like older scrappery kits, which I find I do a lot because, I mean, when you get the kits, they quite often come with more than what you need to create either your project life layout or even just layouts. Like I know a lot of the kits come with ephemera, and ephemera packs can have anything up to 100 pieces, and you know, you're not going to use that really quickly. So I find that I tend to make my project life spreads, if they're not for a commitment, using a lot of leftovers. Like these particular alphas I'm using are from a Freckled Fawn kit, I believe. I am scrapbooking my first Mother's Day, and in the picture my son is wearing a top that says "My Mum Rocks." Which, I mean, having your first Mother's Day, I mean, it's really nice. It's an experience that you definitely want to put in there, even though he was too young to really know what Mother's Day is all about. Hopefully in a couple of years' time he will, and I'll get breakfast in bed or something nice. I'm actually journaling with a Sharpie pen on vellum on this card because I used a plain white cardstock card and layered blue polka dot vellum over the top, and the Sharpie pen does just fine writing straight onto vellum, which is great, because yeah, I mean, it's a versatile pen. You can write on photos, you can write on vellum, you know, it's just great for everything. So my Sharpie pen lives on my desk, and if it went missing I'd be very upset. I probably should buy some spares. So the filler card that I just put down, the My Heart is Full, that is a ephemera piece from an older scrappery kit, the one featuring the open book range by Maggie Holmes. And now I'm using a Dear Lizzie project life card. Sorry, I'm getting out of breath for some reason. I'm sick and I've got a bit of a chest infection, so I'm sorry if I sound weird. Yeah, so I'm using a Dear Lizzie card. I think it was from the Daydreamer mini kit, I think. and I've just done my week's journaling on that. And as you can see, I just went back to my title card, added a tab which I then wrote on with a Uniball Signo pen in white, and I just replicated the week 13. I really like adding tabs to some of the cards to poke out the sides, because I really like my project life to be a little bit interactive in a way, and have I don't like it just flat and with no, like, I don't like it to remain in the pocket sometimes. However, I haven't quite gone as far as scrapbooking outside the pocket like I've seen some people do. I'm just experimenting. So that word that I just showed you up close was because it took a little while for me to understand what that word said, and I think it's just because of the Heidi's font, but to me it looked like crushing. Oh no, sorry, there was another word I thought it was to begin with. It was crushing, and I sort of thought, it took me a minute to realise what it meant, but anyway, that's why I showed you up close. It doesn't say, I can't remember what I thought it said, but I had to actually go check with my mum and see. I went and asked her what she thought it said, but it's a gold glitter word, and it was from an older Heidi Swap range, I think, from quite a while ago. I mean, as I said, Project Life, I find, is a really good way of using just little bits and pieces you have left over in your stash. I mean, you don't even need much if you're like really photo orientated like I am, like you have lots of photos for the week. You don't actually use that much product as such on your pages. You just need cards, a good pen, a good journaling pen, and just some little bits and pieces. So it's a really good way of using those little extras that you have sitting around. Because, I mean, unlike a layout spread where you might want to sort of have quite a bit from a range to coordinate because you use lots of bits and pieces. Yeah, it's not like that. You can just have a little bit. So it's a really good way of getting things used up. So as you can see, I went back to that title card and added some gold washi underneath the chalkboard label, which I thought helped to ground it a little bit because it was sort of floating there. And I mean, I found, as I said before, I found that card really hard to work on. So I played around with it lots before I considered it done, and even then I don't think I was completely happy with it, but that's alright, it's done now. And yeah. I used some of the gold sequin trim, which was from the January Scrappery kits, and I have been using that stuff on everything, and I mean it when I say everything. I love it to bits. And it's just simple, it's just gold sequin trim, but for some reason I find it really exciting to use, and a Tim Holtz mini attacher attaches it just fine because it's sort of like a bit of a hard element to sort of glue down. But a stapler works really well. If you don't have a Tim Holtz mini attacher, I suggest you get one because, I mean, they're just a stapler, but it's not really just a stapler. Till you have one, you just don't understand. American Crafts also makes a very similar stapler as well, which you can get at Spotlight. So now I'm adding some alphas, which are from, oh goodness, going back a while, another Scrappery kit. These pictures of my son on his chair with his sock monkey were something I did last year, the start of his new months. I took photos of him growing on his chair with his monkey, and I did miss a few months, but that's okay. So these were his 4-month pictures because this is week 13, so I think he was like 12, oh, he was 13 weeks old, but yeah, so he'd hit his 4-month milestone. In this week's spread, I found it really weird because I only had one 3x4 photo. So that middle row of 3x4s in the Design A pockets was mainly filler cards and journaling. That's unusual for me because I tend to have a lot of 3x4 photos, and they're the ones I feel the quickest. So it was a bit of a different layout for me in the sense that I used a lot more of those cards. I still had my filler cards in my 4x6s, but there weren't a lot of photos from this particular week. I'm not entirely, oh, hear that wind. I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, I know that this particular week I also have my parents' 50th and 60th birthdays, and we had a big party, so that might have been why. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. and I hope you enjoyed another process video, and I'll be back to share more. Thanks for watching. Bye!